So, Amorim in charge of sporting tonight for their game against Estrella. We sent Gail Davis to Lisbon on Amorim Watch, and there she is. Hello, Gail. Right, we've heard the United fans really excited. What's the reaction in Portugal?
Very good evening to you, Mike. We've seen our first fan holding a banner saying obrigado, thank you, Ruben Amorim. The long goodbye begins, doesn't it, this evening. Bruno Valério is alongside me and he works for Portuguese TV and radio. And you remember Ruben as a player many, many years ago. When you watched him play, when you reported on his career, was it always inevitable that he would go to one of the biggest clubs in the world?
I don't think so. I think he started from low sides. Then he made his way to Sporting. He appeared in Sporting Club of Portugal in a very difficult time. He gave back the club titles. So at this time, I think it's going to be a difficult step for him. I think he wants to prove that he deserves to be in a big European club.
He's never coached outside of Portugal. In fact, he's barely spent any of his life outside Portugal. Speaking to people, the Portuguese league is maybe a few steps below the Premier League. How is he going to make that jump? How is he going to handle it?
Well, I know that the Portuguese league is not compared with the Premier League, but I think he's made some proofs in the Champions League, in the Europa League last year. So I think it's going to be too difficult. Can't be imagined Manchester United is going to win the title this year. But I think he can do a good work in Man United to be in the first four places. I think he can do that. I know the people will see that he's going to make a lot of changes in the club, in the structure. I think he like he did in Sporting, he will change the way the Man United played with the 3-4-3. That's the way he always played in the last years. I think the next game for the Champions League with Manchester City can be seen like a proof for him. But we have another thing that. How is the squad right now? We know that the squad will feel a little bit disappointed with this question that the middle of the season, the departure of a coach. In the last summer, it was talked that a lot of players, or a few players like Gyökeres, a central back, can move for another championships. So I don't know if that can change a little bit the way.
He, as we know, likes to play that certain way, 3-4-3. Yeah. And with that in mind, and looking at Manchester United's squads, who fits in, who doesn't, and how much do you feel that he would have had to have a big say on the personnel before he said yes to the job?
Well, I think for him, with the squad, I think that the United have some players that can be sold in the winter window or in the summer. In this year, he doesn't have. I don't think he's going to have many pressure with the results immediately. So he will have time to prepare the team for the next season. And the next season, yes, he makes proofs of his value. I think for him right now, the first four places is the challenge for him, and the next year the championship.
And how important are people like Ugarte, who played under him at Sporting, but also someone like Bruno Fernandes, who is captain, who has a big say. He's his leader on the pitch, and you said Lindelof he played with. Dalot's been speaking about him today, because he's going into a dressing room which is quite different from here at Sporting. It's full of players who've won things with quite big egos, not necessarily on their way up, looking perhaps for a big move.
That's why I say that he's going to clean the locker room. So some players that don't fit and don't accept his ideas probably will sell them. Yes, I think it's the way.
And that's his personality?
Yes, he's very strong. with his personality, and the club is the first thing for him. The results is the first thing for him. So if a player has an ego bigger than the club, it's not to work with him. We will not work with him.
And we've seen a little bit of him this week, and he's been quite open, quite engaging, quite funny, quite warm with the press. Do you think he understands the level of scrutiny that lies ahead? I mean, we were just talking the fact that he's going to be pictured wherever he goes, that people are going to be interested on where he's going, what his family are doing, as well as sitting in front of a press conference regularly with sort of 40, 50 people in a room.
Yes, it's a reality different from Portugal. Yes, that question. Yes, I don't have an idea of what it is, but the thing that I can say in specific moments, you remember Mourinho. When Mourinho arrived to England, he was very transparent, very strict with his ideas, and he has that thing in another way. So for the press, for us, we like to speak with him in the conference because he always answers what you question him. So maybe and if he understands that don't works, he will change. Okay.
We might not see the same Ruben we've seen. And just finally, interesting that he has been very loyal the whole way through his coaching career to his coaches. We don't know that. We understand there'll be more news about that in the next few days, but you said it would be paramount for him to have those coaches. And with that in mind, do you think there's a way that Ruud van Nistelrooy could be part of that coaching setup? He's got this contract. Would he fit in, or does Ruben just like his own people around him?
Well, I know that Van Nistelrooy have a strong personality too.
Yes.
They both have. So I think they will talk about that, and both will understand what is the place for each other. And if that works, okay. If it doesn't work, I think Ruben will say, okay, I don't work with him. But at this moment, I think Van Nistelrooy will be a very necessary for Ruben Amorim, because he knows, he played for the club, he knows Erik ten Hag went out. So I think Van Nistelrooy at the first moment will explain the things to Ruben. And Bruno Fernandes, Diogo Dalot, maybe Casemiro too, they speak the same language. Casemiro played in Portugal too, for Porto. So I think if there is a united,
Yes.
the things can work.
Good reception will he get from the fans this evening? We've seen our first thank you flag, or is there a little bit of a divide?
I think it's a little bit divided, because some people feels betrayed, and others are grateful for what he did in these 4.5 years. We'll see.
What we do know, Mike, is that at the end of the game might be box office in itself, but we will finally get to speak to Ruben Amorim, who will be the new Manchester United manager, and he can answer all of those questions we've been putting to him over the last few days that he hasn't so far been able to answer.
Gail, that's why we sent you. We know you'll get answers. Thank you for that. That was really interesting.